Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Irish Sports Awards. The people we have here with us tonight have competed at the highest level and won some of the biggest prizes in sport. The awards we give them tonight are our way of saying thank you. Thank you for bringing us on the ride with you, and thank you for inspiring us. Sport delights and disappoints, and it's a roller coaster ride we never want to get off. From the record-breaking Six Nations Saturday in March to the World Cup exit in October, the pleasure and the pain, it's why we love sport. But let's focus on the pleasure in the last 12 months. The Cats crowned kings again, Dublin keeping Sam in the capital, and Cork ladies doing the double. Our amateur boxers giving us so many reasons to be cheerful in an Olympic year, with Paddy Barnes, Joe Ward, Stephen Donnelly and world champion Michael Conlon all booking their places in Rio, and they'll be joined for the first time in over 100 years by our men's hockey team. In golf, McIlroy's battle for the world #1 continues to dominate the headlines, and a young Cavan woman became the #1 amateur golfer in the world. And of course, there's the emergence of Paul Dunne, who nearly pulled off the shock of the year at the British Open. The Special Olympics has always held a place in our hearts, particularly when we think back to Nelson Mandela opening the Games in Croke Park in 2003. Last year, the Games were held in Los Angeles, and Irish athletes came home with an incredible 82 medals, including 26 gold. So hopefully our Olympians and Paralympians can follow their lead. One man bossed 2015. In his own words, he's just a young kid from Ireland running the game. We waited a long time for McGregor Aldo, and in the end, it took the notorious just 13 seconds to prove that he really is something special. Love him or hate him, you certainly can't ignore him. And of course, there's a feast of football in France that didn't look on the menu this time last year. Things really weren't going well when the world champions came to town, but you know what happened next. Call it a long shot, call it the spirit of the fighting Irish. The 4 transits and hiaces will be packed up, and we're all taking the horse to France. So, ladies and gentlemen, we shall begin our night with our very first award. For Team of the Year, we are honouring the team with the most notable achievement in Irish sport in 2015. And our Team of the Year are Ireland's Special Olympics team. Will you please welcome to the stage CEO of Special Olympics Ireland, Matt English, and 2 of our athletes, Amy Duffy and Emmett Daly. Congratulations on this wonderful achievement. Congratulations to you, Amy. You got your hands on the trophy. You also got your hands on a fine medal there. So tell us, Amy, was this your first Olympic Games?
No, this is my second World Games. I was in Athens in 2011, and we got silver in Athens.
Okay. This time you went to LA. Did you go one better?
Yeah, we went one better. We were down in the second and third quarter, and it was the last couple of seconds in the last quarter when we got the gold medal. Okay,
they are the Olympic basketball champions, ladies and gentlemen. Well done, well done. Emmett, you play football, 5-a-side football. Yeah. This was your first Olympics. What's it like to compete, representing your country at that highest level?
Very good, and take over.
Oh, right, okay. You're not here to take part.
No.
You're here to take over.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're planning on getting us to another Olympics, and you're going to go and win it.
Yeah.
That's what we need in this country. That's the spirit. Emmett, congratulations. Well done. But the next award that we will present this evening is for Breakthrough of the Year. So this award is recognising a sports person who, through great achievement, has risen to the fore in the past 12 months and captured the attention of the sporting world. The winner of the Irish Sport Award for Breakthrough of the Year is golfer Paul Dunne.
Good evening, everyone. Great honour for me to accept the prize of Breakthrough of the Year. I'd like to thank the category sponsor Renault and the Irish Sports Awards for the great honour. Sorry I can't be there in person, but I'm over here in Arizona playing on the PGA Tour this week, so great opportunity for me. And hope everyone enjoys the evening. Have a few scoops and hopefully some good stories be told, and have a great time. Thanks.
So now the next award we are going to do before we continue with our Legends section of the evening is for Sporting Achievement of the Year. And this award is going to an organisation who this year, with the help of their managers and football team, have made us all very excited about the summer to come. So ladies and gentlemen, Sporting Achievement of the Year is going to the Football Association of Ireland, and will you please welcome their Chief Executive, John Delaney. That'll look nice in the new offices in Abbottstown. And it's been, before we talk about the football, a great year for the FAI. You've moved to Abbottstown, fantastic facilities, and this will improve Irish football down through the years.
Oh, well, listen, I mean, you need three things in sport. You need programmes, you need people, you need infrastructure. We've got great people involved in the game. I think 450,000 people play soccer every weekend. So there's the people, we've got great volunteers, great programmes in society, and infrastructure is hugely important. And naturally, getting to the Euros, which we're going to talk about in a second, was an incredible moment last November when we beat Bosnia in the playoff. Absolutely brilliant.
Okay, and fair to say maybe things certainly are in place for this trip. How important is it for the FAI that we qualify for this tournament?
When we qualify, it gives us a momentum in our sport that wouldn't be there if we didn't qualify. And for me, when the tricolour goes up in Paris in June next year, and we sing around Naveen, the pride in your country, the drive in your country, I suppose just that feeling of supporting your country on foreign shores is something really, really special. And I'm just glad that Irish soccer can do that this summer and lift the country, please God.
Thank you very much. John Delaney, ladies and gentlemen, and congratulations to the FAI. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to meet the legends. If I can bring you back, all the way back to 1969, the year snooker and television started a love affair. It was also the year our first legend was born. In 1969, David Attenborough, yes, the David Attenborough, brought a series called Pot Black to the BBC. It made superstars out of snooker players, and the sport exploded. The last Pot Black was held in 2007, and it's the only time an Irishman has ever won it. But the winner is probably better known for 17 days in Sheffield in 1997, when he lifted the big one, the world title, becoming only the third Irishman to do so. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome snooker legend Ken Doherty. Congratulations, Ken.
It's fantastic, isn't it? It's so long since I won anything. It's a bit weird, actually, lifting something. Thank you.
All right, well, let's go back to that time in 97. I mean, a lot of us genuinely remember it so vividly. What are your memories of that final day? Because going into it, you had a comfortable lead over Stephen.
I did, yeah. I had a lead of 15-9, I think, going into the final session. And, of course, as you said, Stephen Hendry, he hadn't lost in the Crucible for 5 years, so nobody had sort of given me much hope. Except all the family and friends, of course, and it was a great final, and to beat him, you know, going in, as I said, 15-9 up, I was almost there, but I also knew how good he was, and he always loved the comeback, and I've seen it so many times over the years.
And he attacked.
And I didn't want him to come back on me on that particular night, and thankfully he didn't, and I got through in the end. You know, to come back home, and as you said, like, you know, the open top bus through the city, you know, something that you dream of, you know, you never think that it's going to become a reality. And I remember my good friend Eamon said, you know, one day you're going to come through Dublin on the top of a bus, and I never believed him, you know, but it happened. And funny enough, the superintendent, the chief superintendent at the time, he said, Doherty, you know, he said between 7 and 10, he said there wasn't one police call to the central police station for 3 hours, you know. And the girl at the switchboard down on Harcourt Street, she rang the exchange. She said, what's wrong with our phones? We haven't had one phone call. And the girl on the other line said, you're not watching the snooker, the whole of the country is, you know. And the chief super said to me, he said, Doherty, he said, you should be on television more often. He says, you make my job a hell of a lot easier, you know.
Very good. I mentioned you contested 2 more finals. I'd like to talk about the one in 2003 because you staged not 1 but 2 epic comebacks in that tournament to get to the final. Firstly in the semi-final, 15-9 down against Paul Hunter. You came back to beat him. And then up against Mark Williams in the final. Like, you got back to 16-all. You were that close. I'm wondering, where does that, I mentioned dogged spirit, where does that never say die attitude come from?
Well, I am Irish, you know. We never say die in all our sports, and there's so many great sports stars here tonight. You know, we have that fighting spirit. You know, we never say die. We always try and give it 100%. And you know always that the pride of the country and the people of the country are always behind you. And that spurs you on as well. Even if you lose, at least you can hold your head up high.
You can quit yourself.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Well, we'll continue to support you. Congratulations on this award tonight. Our first legend of the night, ladies and gentlemen, Ken Doherty. Now, when this legend was asked to name the racetrack with the best atmosphere, he named Flemington, the home of the Melbourne Cup. Hardly surprising. Over 100,000 spectators poured through the gates on the Melbourne Cup day. It's a public holiday in the city. It's a race they take very seriously. And the first time it was won by a foreign horse was in 1993, when Mick Kinane rode Vintage Crop to a famous victory. And that remarkable day in November, in front of 100,000 spectators, gave our legend a taste for success down under. And in 2002, he won the Cup again with Media Puzzle. To be fair, he has travelled well down through the years. In 1990, he became the only trainer to grab a leg of America's famous Triple Crown, the only European to do so, when he trained Go and Go to victory in the Belmont Stakes. But it's here at home where he's really a household name. He has trained more winners in Ireland than any other trainer. If there's a Galway girl, then maybe he's the Galway boy. Last year, he was the festival's top trainer. In fact, he's been the top trainer for 29 of the last 30 years. And such has been his total domination at Ballybrit that a leading bookmaker campaigned to have it renamed the Dermot Weld Retirement Fund Races. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome horse racing legend Dermot Weld. Congratulations on winning this award tonight. You've conquered practically all over the world. Of the international events that you've won, from Hong Kong to Belmont to Melbourne, which one is the biggest, the most personal for you?
You know, every race you win is an important one. As you know, it's your last win. Last night in Dundalk was good. But I suppose the first Melbourne Cup was really special. The publicity that Ireland got from that win at a time that we needed publicity was great. I'm very fortunate I'm in an industry that represents our country so well.
Well said, for sure. Well, continued success and domination to you. Phenomenal achievement, and congratulations on your award tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, our legend, Dermot Weld. Now, ladies and gentlemen, our next Legend Award is sponsored by Airgrid. When the Dubs lifted Sam in 1995, it felt like the dawning of a new era for the boys in blue. And us fans could only see years of dominance ahead. We certainly didn't think that we'd have to wait an agonising 16 years to see Sam in those blue ribbons again. Our next legend was a player and an all-star in '95. And along with that All-Ireland title, he captained his county and won 6 Leinster Championships and a league title. He's a true leader on and off the pitch. In 1999, he was a founding member of the GPA and has been CEO since 2002. Under this former player's leadership, the Gaelic Players Association has grown not only to officially represent over 2,000 of those amateur players, but to provide a comprehensive range of support services and counselling in career, education, health and well-being. It hasn't always been easy. The GPA was viewed with suspicion and hostility for years, but in 2010 it was formally recognised as the players' representative body by the GAA. He's a true legend on and off the field. Ladies and gentlemen, Dessie Farrell. Congratulations, Dessie. I mentioned the GPA, but I'm curious to know, so many people identify you and the GPA together these days, but when's the last time anyone talked to you about Dessie Farrell, the footballer?
This morning, actually.
Right, I knew I'd walk into that. Yeah. Who was it?
We're involved in coaching the current Dublin under-21 team for the last few years, so we're in the thick of it this morning as well. So outside the public persona, it's very much part and parcel of my life still. Okay, that's good, because for so many of us Dublin fans, it's a huge part of our life. That team in the 90s, so close so many times. But it was a big team in every sense, full of characters. Keith Byers, the Charlie Redmonds, the Brian Steins. Where did you fit in amongst that? I was a quiet little sheepish boy in that company, I can assure you. Yes, though, so just before I came onto the panel in '92, Dublin had the 4 in a row saga with the great Meath team, and a lot of the boys were still pretty much traumatised after that, you know. So there was a big emphasis then placed on '92, and I was lucky enough to come in then, but unfortunately, it didn't happen that year. Donegal beat us. '93 semi-final, Derry beat us. '94 down, beat us in an All-Ireland final, and eventually in '95 we managed to cross the winning line.
And you're still so involved in the game, looking after the welfare of all the current inter-county players. I know you have your hands full with it, and I know there's a million questions I could ask you about the GPA, but do you love doing that? Is that why you do it?
Yes, you know, obviously I love sports, all sports throughout my life, and then playing county football was a dream come true from a very young age. That's all I wanted to do was play for Dublin, and then the GPA provided me with an opportunity to stay involved in sports, but more particularly to be involved in something that I was particularly passionate about. And I know we've been so fortunate all the way along to have great players involved and keep pushing it, and it's great to be handed over to a new generation of great men and great leaders.
Congratulations on your award and your career with Dublin, and continued success to you and the GPA. Ladies and gentlemen, our GAA legend, Dessie Farrell.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. If any of you ever watched Graham Souness as a pundit on Sky Sports, I bet you think the same thing as I do. He's good. He's really good. But he used to be not so good. That was until he came to Ireland, because let's face it, Ireland is the Brazil of punditry. And it's all because of our next two award winners. Ladies and gentlemen, footballers, pundits, legends, John Giles and Eamon Dunphy. Ladies and gentlemen, Eamon would like to speak.
First of all, I'd like to apologise to all the legends, like A.P. McCoy, Ruby Walsh, Dermot Weld. Wow. What am I doing here?
We've an exciting summer to look forward to, and we look forward to seeing you boys giving your honest and varied opinions and commentary on France. How do you think we're going to do at the Euros, John?
Yeah, well, nobody knows how we're going to do, but I think we'll do well. We'll do better than we did last time, I think, because the setup is different. There are more teams involved in it. You know, we proved in the playoffs that you took 4 points off Germany, for example, that nobody would have thought we were going to do. So I would go into it optimistically, and I think we play as well as we can play. Then we'll do okay. Okay, we look forward to it. John, congratulations on the award tonight. I feel I'm going to have to let you have the last word.
Well, somebody said to me that the award looked like...
No, don't go there.
No. Last word. Love sport. Love the people who do it great. Like the guys I've mentioned. Always. I love John Delaney.
We love you. John Giles and Eamon Dunphy, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations. All right, all right. Don't shake your head at me. I said nothing. Our next legend is a lifelong Arsenal fan. And one of his first horses was a mare. He named Chippy in honour of Liam Brady. He and Chippy had a great career at Gymkhanas, winning rosettes and trophies by the shed load. But it was all a bit slow for him. He wasn't going to be a sporting legend if he stuck to Gymkhanas. But they had a nickname for him at his local GAA club, Leicester, and it was a clue to his future. At 5'10", he wasn't born to be a flat jockey. He was born to be something else. He decided to try his luck over the jumps, where he had more winners, a lot more. Ladies and gentlemen, Sir Anthony McCoy. You're less than a year retired. Have you made peace with that you're not racing anymore, or will that ever happen?
No, I made peace with it, because I think you have to... you know, I always set myself goals in my life. I was lucky that I worked for very good people and successful people as well, and I think they make you better. I always set myself goals, and I never wanted to, you know, I thought if 5 years before I retired, I thought if I could win 5 more Jockeys Championships, that it would be the right thing to do. I wanted to retire while I was still performing well. You know, I often said I wasn't ever sure that I was ever really content, but it was obviously what drove me. It was obviously what I loved doing. You know, I've found out more recently that I haven't really done a day's work in my life, to be honest. So.
Who told you that?
My wife. And,
What about the Grand National win in 2010? You had tried so many times. What did it mean to finally capture it?
Look, the Grand National is the most famous horse race in the world. Did it make me any better a jockey winning it? Probably not. I got a lot of satisfaction. I used to think that there was a lot better jockeys than me that didn't win the Grand National. People like Charlie Swan, Frank Berry, multiple champion jockeys, John Frankham, Peter Scuddamore, John Joe Neal. None of them ever won the Grand National. And I think there was a lot of jockeys not as good as me that won the Grand National. So you do need a little look for it. But it is the most famous horse race in the world. So, you know, it did kind of fulfill, you know, one of the things that I wanted to achieve.
It's a real honour to have you here tonight to receive this award. Thank you for being here. Ladies and gentlemen, A.P. McCoy. Thank you so much. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we move to our final award of this evening. And this award is the Jack Kyle Outstanding Achievement in Rugby Award. And to begin, I'd like you all to welcome to the stage Jack Kyle's son, Caleb Kyle.
The first thing I'd like to say is that the person who's being awarded the award tonight, Ollie Campbell, is an absolute legend. I often look at Ollie and I look at his frame, and he's a reasonably slight man, and I sort of think, Ollie, where do you fit your heart? Because the man has a massive heart. So it's a great privilege for us to remember Dad's name in this way. And I'd like to just thank Ian for allowing us to do that, Ian and the team from Business and Finance for allowing us to do that. Thank you.
Thank you, Caleb. Thank you for being with us this evening. And next, ladies and gentlemen, to present this award, I'd like to welcome, it gives me a great honour to welcome back last year's recipient of the award. Will you please welcome the one and only Willie John McBride.
I had the great privilege last year of receiving this award, and it's my pleasure tonight to be here and to present this award to Ollie. You know, when I think of Jack Kyle, and I turned out to be a great friend of mine. I didn't really know him until the last number of years when he came back to Ireland, and I saw a lot of him. And what a wonderful man he was. And you know, all those lovely words that there is in our dictionary, like fairness, integrity, all those can be applied to Jack Kyle. He was just a wonderful man. And you know, when I think of Ollie Campbell, you could take a lot of those words for him as well. Ollie was a great servant of Irish rugby. He was a wonderful player. He was full of skill. And it's a great privilege tonight to hand Ollie over the Jack Kyle Award.
Thank you very much. As Willie John has intimated, time waits for no man. They say we shouldn't meet our heroes. One of the blessings of my life was that I met mine, the one and only Jack Kyle. He was a godlike figure for me growing up. And if I heard my dad recite the lines once, I heard him recite them 1,000 times. The lines penned by Paul McWeeny, the rugby correspondent of the Irish Times at the time, on Jack's late great try against France in Ravenhill in 1953. They seek him here, they seek him there, those Frenchies seek him everywhere. That paragon of pace and style, that damned elusive Jackie Kyle. Emerson once said that any form of gratitude should be an exquisite form of courtesy. I'm extremely grateful, deeply honoured, and sincerely and genuinely humbled. So thank you, and thank you, and thank you again. And I wish you all a great weekend, and I hope you all have a happy and healthy and sports-filled 2016. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being with us tonight. Thank you for raising so much money for UNICEF. We will see you again next year. Here's to 2016. Have a lovely night tonight, ladies and gentlemen.